If you are,
Yes, we're so professional we've never heard our bumpers.
in order to get a divorce, you have to get married. And in Oklahoma, they are banning people who do not have faith, or atheists, I should say, from getting married. Actually, it's not quite so much an attack against atheists, although that is kind of implied here. It's more of a thinly veiled attack against the LGBT community. What they've basically said here is that the bunch of Republicans passed a marriage license bill, House Bill 1125, which effectively bans all secular marriages in the state. And it was passed by a Republican majority and will now go to the state Senate for consideration. They say this one thing and they don't understand what the fuck they're talking about here, because they kind of cut themselves at the throat with the next sentence. It says, marriage was not instituted by government. It is instituted by God. There is no reason for Oklahoma or any state to be involved in marriage. And this is one of the bill's supporters, Republican Dennis Johnson. And the thing here is, if he doesn't want the government involved with marriage, then why are you putting forth a bill to remove it from the government completely? That's you're talking on both sides of your face here. If you want to get your marriage license, you have to go to a clergyman or a pastor or a priest or whatever, so then have them issue your marriage license. And that's just wholly wrong. I think it flies first off in the face of the First Amendment, separation of church and state, because first off, marriage was not invented by Christians or religion in general. It was originally a contract between two people to say, okay, when I die, you're going to get my shit, and then this way my kids will be taken care of, or any progeny I have will be taken care of should something happen. Connie, your thoughts?
Yes, this Oklahoma bill came from the House, and yesterday on the 2nd, they had the first reading in the Senate. It has not become law yet. It has to pass through the Senate. I went to the website Legiscan, bringing the people to the process, and the encouraging thing, and these are in the comment section below this bill and below this notification that it's gone to the Senate now, is there are so many people who are saying this is so stupid. People who say, I'm a Christian, but this is stupid. So again, the tide is turning. I think we've got a tsunami swell happening amongst people. They realize that my faith is one thing and laws are another. But unfortunately, the Tea Parties and the fundamentalists and the dominionists just don't get the message. And I think it's bigoted and self-righteous Christians are trying to get people upset with the LGBTs by restricting their ability to get a marriage license. And this happened, I think it was in Alabama.
Mm-hmm.
And but that's very short-sighted and it's very delusional. It's just they can't let their belief in God let them bully others. And what gets me, because okay, when it comes right down to it, if they want to take that tack, then guess what? When it comes to your tax return and being able to claim married, as a deduction on your tax return, I mean, that's a federal thing. If they want marriage to be all about religion, then claiming an exemption for marriage, I just question whether that would be something that, really, guess what? You probably don't get to do that. So, I don't know. You're right. Marriage was originally instituted to be about property and progeny, and for the most part, it was about people with land and holdings and everything else. And I don't know. There's times I wish that this would just go away, but it will eventually. It's just a fight in the meantime. So I'm sorry, I'm kind of lost my train of thought. That's just the facts that I've found and the things I've found, and I'm encouraged by the backlash, even in the depths of Oklahoma, of people saying this is really stupid. Even Christians are saying, what about separation of church and state?
Yeah.
In the comment section. So I'm like, people who are paying attention to this are saying WTF, WTF. That was really hard to say. Sorry.
That's all right.
So, yes, that's what I have to say about it. So
Okay.
keep our eyes on this.
Yeah, definitely keep our eyes on this one. Joe, your thoughts?
Yeah, it was said years ago. I forget who said it, but they said, religion isn't going to go out with a whimper. It's going to go out clawing and fighting like a wounded animal.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yes.
that's exactly what we're seeing here is they're trying to pass legislation to restrict the freedoms of gay people. They're trying to pass legislation to restrict the freedom of atheists. And this is it. This is what religion looks like when it's dying.
Mm-hmm.
And I think what Connie just said, which is fantastic, faith is one thing, laws are another.
Yes.
Connie, I'm memeing that. That's going to be all over
Oh.
Twitter
Oh.
after the show.
All right.
I'll
Yay.
send you a copy.
Connie, you
That-
just
that's
made yourself a
fucking
meme.
awesome.
Connie's words became a meme. That's great.
Thank you.
Yes. I wrote it down. As soon as she said that, I ran. I was like, "Where's a pen? Where's a working pen?"
Here's one,
It's
Joe.
a fucking pen.
No, I found a fucking pen. Thanks, Packard.
Thank you, Joe.
Yeah.
I feel very honored.
Yeah.
Yes.
Anybody have any last thoughts on this then?
I had actually several thoughts to say about it, but I've since forgotten all of them.
Oh, okay.
No.
That's okay.
Oh. Damn it.
But I don't think like this law in Oklahoma. I don't think it'll hold up.
Yeah.
I mean, there's like the Atheist Experience. They've said on their show recently that atheists like to throw around. It's in the state constitutions that atheists aren't allowed to hold public office in like 7 states or something like that.
yeah.
But there was a Supreme Court decision. I think it was 63 or something like that. That kind of overturns all of those state constitutions. So even though it's still in the state constitution, it's not law anymore.
Right.
Like in the state of Texas or in the state of Tennessee, you could still run for office and be an atheist, an open atheist.
Yeah.
And it does not matter.
Yeah, I would
because of
love.
that
I would love
Huh?
to see. I'm sorry. I would love to see those people go. Someone on the other side, whoever it may be, Democrat or Republican, if an atheist runs and says, "Hey," and goes, "Hey, he can't run. He's an atheist." It's like,
that happens. That's why it comes up all the time. Is because people are like, well, it's in our state constitution, and they don't know that it's already been overruled by the Supreme Court, and it would require an act of that state legislature to amend their constitution to remove it, which is why it's still there.
Yeah.
But it's not law. It's not legal anymore.
right.
And so when I hear of this Oklahoma state law saying that, atheists can't get married, then boom, right there. I would I'm not a lawyer,
Yeah.
but I would think that Supreme Court decision would negate that kind of law. Like even though they passed it now, I mean, it might have to go to court again. Somebody might have to sue,
Yeah.
but I would think that Supreme Court decision would be a precedent that would overrule that law.
Yeah.
Like it,
Yes.
I mean-
Speaking of that, Karen in the chat room just kind of reminded me. There was in the city of Madison, and unfortunately, the town and city of Madison, I think just the city of Madison, they have a new regulation that you cannot discriminate against atheists in anything out there. So if I went to go apply for a job someplace, they found out I was an atheist and they denied me based on that, I could sue them. And I'm hoping that one day that this becomes a state law and not just a law within city limits. Thank you, Karen, for reminding me. That's great.